What happened?
Not later.
You'll zoom to the center anyway. I'm off on my screen. It'll be fine.
All right. Well, welcome. This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Will.
And I'm TiMMy.
I am Justin.
And I'm Installation00.
And for one more time this week, can you guys go ahead and tell us about your channels?
No, I don't think so.
Bastard.
At the same time.
Yeah, I'm Justin. I run the sci-fi lore channel EckhartsLadder and the gaming channel X2, as well as co-hosting the podcast Tapcast Transmissions.
And I'm Installation00. I make Halo lore content, most well known for my most detailed breakdown, and have a second channel, Lore Core Multiverse, that do the same thing on other sci-fi franchises.
Very cool. All right, so today is another episode of our Faceoff Friday. Today's topic is which franchise, Star Wars or Halo, has the cooler vehicles? And then each of our guests here are going to pick one and then defend it. The way this works is essentially like one person will pick either a vehicle from Halo or a vehicle from Star Wars. They will make their claim for about 3 minutes. During that time, the other person can object, just like in a courthouse. And be like, I object. And then you'll say, say why. And if I agree with you, or if, TiMMy agrees with you, we can say like sustained, or we can say overruled if you're just, spouting, smoke. And then, once that's done, each of us can ask you a follow-up question. TiMMy and I can ask a follow-up question. And then, next person. And then at the very end, there'll be closing statements from each of you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right.
So are we choosing one vehicle, or should we just do the entire franchise? Like, which one has cooler vehicles?
Which one are you guys more comfortable with?
I thought it was franchise. I was ready to defend Star Wars vehicles as a whole, but if you want me to choose one or the other, that's fine too.
Well, if Installation00 is ready to pull out a bunch of vehicles.
I'm ready to bring them all to bear if needs be.
Right. Yeah, let's do this.
Sweet.
All of them. So, you guys want to volunteer who goes first? Or you want us to pick?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
If you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the court of YouTube, Twitter, and wherever else.
Mm-hmm.
What Star Wars has iconic vehicles like giant metal elephants or camels in the form of AT-ATs, or the iconic Star Destroyer or X-Wing or Millennium Falcon. What does Halo have? Basically just a shitty Jeep in the form of a Warthog. Like, it's just a Jeep. It's not even a good Jeep. It doesn't even have a top on it. Like, I would rather take a real-life Jeep into war than a Warthog. The most iconic UNSC vehicle, besides the Warthog, is really just like a tank. Star Wars, however, has X-Wings, TIE Fighters, Millennium Falcon. Things that kids want to play with. Do you think any kid has ever looked at a UNSC frigate and been like, man, I want to draw that. I want to pretend to fly one of those with my friends. No, because it's basically just a flying gun in space. But Star Wars not only has iconic looks for their ships, but also sound effects. The TIE Fighter's screech is probably one of the most iconic sounds in science fiction, for a good reason. And Star Wars, of course, would starfighters actually make sound in space? No, because Star Wars ships are designed with no sort of logic, no sort of scientific basis. They're designed purely around being cool. It's basically a World War II naval fight in space. And because they're designed this way, they just end up being the coolest. That's my argument.
Excellent. That was a good statement.
So many of those points I had to block. I was like biting my hand not to laugh.
Laugh out of fear.
Yeah.
mainly the laughter is like, oh shit, he knows.
All right, Tim, do you have a follow-up question?
Me? No, I don't have any. No, that was honestly, that was fantastic.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to if Halo has the cooler vehicles.
Halo obviously has the cooler vehicles when you
Objection.
wear stuff. Yeah, you would. Right, so the Warthog, first and foremost, is one of the most iconic vehicles in gaming. The second you look at you're going to play a game, you're going to look at any vehicle across any franchise. The Warthog is one of the ones that pops to mind straight away. It's basically the vehicle for the gaming franchise. it has its negatives, but it's also extremely resilient. It's still grounded in reality with its technology and with the materials that it's built with, but it's unprecedentedly resilient. It's been battle tested. It was brought into service and was basically the forefront main vehicle for the UNSC for approximately 60 years. On top of that, you've got the tank. The Scorpion tank, again, is one of those most iconic kind of designs of a tank. It's instantly recognizable. It's powerful. But then going over to ships, okay, you want to argue that the frigate is just a flying gun. Isn't that ultimately what you want from a starship? You want it to be a gun that can blast something out of the sky. You don't want it to be all pretty and shiny. You want it to be utilitarian. You want it to serve a purpose. You want it to be able to take something down effectively. And hell, even if you don't like the flying gun technique, look at the Covenant ships, the CCS class battle cruiser. It's a predatory shape. It's almost shark-like. It's designed organically. It glows this pearlescent purple. The energy shielding technology makes it resilient to practically anything. You can hit these things with direct attacks from nukes and they survive. The laser and plasma weaponry that they sport are absolutely and utterly devastating. They can glass entire planets. Star Wars ships, what you'd say, okay, so you've got the TIE fighter, which basically just sounds like some guy really aggressively throwing up. Just as it flies past you, you know? You don't want that. You want something that's got a predatory hum as it flies over the top of you. That's awe-inspiring. That's fear-inspiring. That's good ship design. I rest.
Yeah.
You get closing statements, right? Oh, sorry.
That's fantastic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Eckhart is now quietly seething.
I'm just proud that both of you were able to remain silent throughout each other's.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I really don't have a follow-up question either on this one. I just think, I don't know. That's a great. Both of those
I'm
are great
realizing
points.
this is going to be very hard to decide between the two, but
Yeah, absolutely true.
all right, you guys can do your closing statements in opposite order, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, so you want my closing statements?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So closing statements. If you're looking for a ship that's iconic, that inspires awe and fear, then you're obviously going to go with the ships from Halo. If you want them to serve a purpose, you're obviously going to go with the ships from Halo. And as far as terrestrial and land-based vehicles, you're obviously going to want to go with Halo. They're powerful, they're rugged, they're resilient, and they meet their requirement and have stood the test of time.
Cool.
Okay. So I will do my closing statement. And I would just like to remind my learned friend that the argument is not which ship can get down and dirty. It's not which vehicle could drive through the landscape most effectively. It's which one is coolest. The Warthog is iconic because it's fun to drive, but it's still just a Jeep and not even that cool of a Jeep. It's in a really cool video game and a really fun video game. That's why it's great. However, Attack of the Clones, the most garbage of all the Star Wars movies, still gave us some amazing designs. The Acclamator Star Destroyer, the ATTE, those are badass, and they're in the middle of one of the most forgettable movies of all time, but still really memorable. Yes, Halo is grounded in reality, but you know what else is grounded in reality? Taxes. Accounting generally. Lots of things that aren't very interesting. And I think Halo does have some iconic vehicles, but the Star Destroyer, the Super Star Destroyer, I just don't think you can beat it. That's my argument.
It's fantastic as well.
Yeah, both very impassioned argument.
Love it.
I don't know. This is going to be hard, man.
I know. I mean, it says that one of the options here is that we cannot make a decision. The case is thrown out and both participants are shamed. And I feel like that is just not... We need one more option, and that is both are revered.
Both are exalted. Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
The arguments are too good. I declare a mistrial.
Right? And I came into this
a
little biased, thinking that probably Halo, only because of like ghosts and banshees and stuff, you know. But fantastic Star Wars argument there too. I really.
I came in the opposite.
Yeah.
I was like, Star Wars has the cooler vehicles, but I don't know. Now I'm split.
It's true. And like, as far as cool vehicles go, just a giant gun. That's a pretty cool vehicle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I knew that was one of my weaker points.
Well, still, it worked. I like how he reiterated, like, yeah, that's why it's cool. It's good. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. Well, I think
they're both
the
guilty.
two judges,
And have to go to prison.
Exactly.
For a long time.
See what the comments say, I guess. We'll have to leave it to people to decide.
Exactly. This is a new situation where we haven't actually had someone, and the judge didn't choose anything. So, sorry, Chris.
I guess Chris
so
can make the final call, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
He's just
the
going to
fighting.
put a little 15-second clip of himself, like, nope, this is the winner.
Exactly.
This is why.
Exactly.
This is a CHRILLCAST.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to say on the topic?
No, I would just say keep the fighting up in the YouTube comments because it's where it belongs. This discussion has been had for 2 decades now, so to argue with this with my buddy at sleepovers. So
That's cool. All right.
Yeah,
well, I'll
great
go ahead and
voice.
sign off then. Yeah. So for the CHRILLCAST, I'm Will.
And I am not Chris. TiMMy here instead.
I am Eck.
And I'm Installation.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. It's been a really big blast this week.
Yeah,
Hopefully you've had fun. Hopefully it hasn't been too terrible without Chris.
Been
No,
great.
it's been really fun.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys.